The Republican Party is in a bit of a panic right now. And they're actually panicking about multiple different things on multiple different fronts because the party has no idea who the hell they actually are. One of the panics is over, are they going to follow Trump or are they going to move forward? New report says that leadership within the GOP is crumbling because you got about half of them that say we're the party of Trump, we're the party of MAGA, and the other half says, no, we're just Republicans and we're just trying to pass legislation that doesn't help anybody. Two horrible paths, by the way, but apparently the party's torn. They don't know if they want to be full-blown terrible or just awful. But the other panic is actually, I'd say it's probably a more dire panic because it's panic revolving around the 2022 midterms. And obviously the path they choose is going to affect that as well. But the problem they have right now, and this is why they're panicking, is one, they can't let Joe Biden be successful with his presidential agenda. And right now, the Democrats seem to be barreling through and passing legislation that brings us to the other part of their panic, that the Republican base actually really, really likes. On top of that, Biden's speech from this past week, the joint address, or the address to the joint session of Congress, overwhelmingly approved by a majority of people who watched it, between 70 and 84%, depending on which poll you look at. So even on the low end, that is a huge, huge approval. On top of that, polls after the speech showed that even Republicans support the plans that Joe Biden is proposing. They like the universal pre-K and 2 years of college. They like the idea of raising taxes on corporations to pay for these things. They liked the stimulus package. They like the infrastructure package. All things that Republicans are 100% against due to the sole fact that it's coming from a Democratic president, Joe Biden. That is the only reason Republicans are obstructing this stuff. And again, they're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place in their minds. I'll explain in a moment why they're actually not. But in their minds, they think, look, if Joe Biden is successful, then we're going to get clobbered in the midterms because people are going to say, hey, Biden and the Democrats are getting things done. Let's stay the course and keep these people in office. Versus if they continue to obstruct everything that they know their base likes, they're going to have to go back and be like, well, we voted against it, because, that guy. And the base is going to say, well, that sucks. These are good things. I'm voting you out. But in reality, all the Republicans have to do is actually support some of these very popular proposals. Hear me now. Hear me now, Republicans and Democrats. Voting for popular legislation is never going to come back to hurt you. If a majority of your constituents say, we want a thing, and if a majority of your own party says we want a thing and you vote for it, they're not going to say, how dare you vote for the thing that we literally told you we wanted you to do. That's not going to happen. But these Republicans and even some Democrats, I'm looking at you, Manchin and Sinema, are so boneheaded, so idiotic, and so set in their ways that they can't put their partisanship or their pride aside and say, you know what? This may be something coming from the other party, but it's a good plan. The public likes the plan. My base, my constituents like the idea, so I'm going to support it. And then I'm going to go back home and I'm going to tell them that, yes, I voted for this. You know why? Because I'm not so partisan that I can't see a good thing when it slaps me in the face. That's what voters want to hear. And I guarantee you'd be rewarded with another term if you did that. But you run the risk of being voted out of office if you continue to vote against every popular thing that is coming down the pipeline. And honestly, I hope you do. I hope your constituents hold you accountable for this. They want these programs. They like these ideas. They like Joe Biden. So you're only hurting yourself by trying to obstruct everything in Congress.